Once upon a time, the teacher was the source of all information. Now, information is literally at your fingertips. Actually, not even. You could just ask Google or Alexa or Siri, and they'll tell you what you need to know. If you're going into your classroom to lecture kids about facts, dates, and numbers.
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the Anyone? The Great Depression.
Then you're doing your students a great disfavor. You must remember that you are no longer the exclusive source of information. So what now? Well, now you have to pivot. You shift your approach and change your mindset. Now your task is to teach your students how to learn instead of what to learn. How to understand. How to take the information on the tablet screens or what Siri tells them and decipher it in order to understand it. To differentiate between real information and clickbait, fact versus propaganda, truth versus fiction. Thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. Being a teacher is tough. Sure, it's one of the most rewarding jobs you could possibly have, but more often than not, you're overworked, underpaid, not to mention the stress and pressure coming at you from every direction. From keeping your students on track, satisfying the administration with your performance, and of course parents telling you that you need to pay more attention to their kid, because you don't have 20 other kids in your class. Sometimes you just need to turn it all off and talk to someone, don't you? Well, let me introduce you to BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Use the link betterhelp.com/legendaryeducator to get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/legendaryeducator. Check out BetterHelp today. You deserve it. When I was a history teacher, on the very first day of class, I welcomed students who came in with long faces and frowns, and I always knew why they were so underwhelmed to greet their new history teacher. Because they hated history. Because they were so used to their former history teachers giving them lists of dates, names, and events
Anyone?
that they had to know for Thursday's quiz. And so on the first day of class, I told them, very frankly, I said, listen, if you ask me who did what when, I wouldn't be able to tell you. And I'm the teacher. I'd need to look it up or ask Google. Hey Google, when was the War of 1812?
Anyone?
And they'd all laugh. Then I'd say, instead of teaching you who, what, and when, I'll be teaching you how, why, and how come. And I'd see their eyes get wider, as they had never heard something like this before. I'd continue with my intro and say, you can get your names and dates from Google, but what we're going to learn here is how to look at cause and effect, how to analyze action and reaction, because that is what history is at its core. To them, this was a different way of looking at history, a brand new language. I told them that's right. I don't care much about Columbus sailing the ocean blue in 1492. Instead, I want to understand why he went there in the first place and what was the outcome of his voyage, the doors that were open to the New World. Oh my gosh, now we're getting somewhere. Now we've got an epic story. Did you know that Europe, Africa, and Asia didn't know what a tomato was until after Columbus discovered the Americas? Now we have origin stories. Did you know that because of Columbus and his crew, and later thousands of Europeans coming to the Americas, millions of the indigenous people lost their lives and entire civilizations were destroyed? And no, not because the Europeans killed everybody, although they did do a lot of killing. But what actually killed the vast majority of the native population was a virus. Wow, now we've got an epic story with a twist. And just like that, history becomes exciting. Where have we seen a virus kill millions of people before? And now history is relevant. As I was going through a history lesson, come to think of it, actually I also did this in my English classes. I'd always end with the same question. So what? After quickly going through the who and the what, I'd spend a little more time on the why and the how, and always end with, so what? So what? What is the outcome? What is the effect? What is the reaction? And that is what they should be learning, and should be learning how to learn. In today's fast-paced world, students need to learn skills above all. Information and facts are no longer the currency of a teacher. You lost that job to Alexa and Siri. So you pivot and change direction. What is needed now is an instructor who teaches skills, a coach who trains their students. In today's modern, rapidly evolving world, we'll need students who are able to evolve along with society. Students who have the skills to think critically, come up with new ideas, and face challenges that don't exist yet. This is now your job.